Hi there. So, after my last little video on Saturday night showing you that Moneypenny was having a rock and roll time looking after her Airbnb, a few people enthusiastically said, what a brilliant idea, I could make some money as well doing something similar. So I thought I'd show you maybe the other side of what happens when you are trying to run an Airbnb. You will see a very, very hostile review from some guests that I had. The angry men that I wouldn't allow to stay in an outdoor hot tub after midnight after several bottles of wine that they'd consumed running around with just a small pair of shorts on in my back garden in a very quiet residential area got very upset and decided to give me, whoa, with the most stonking review. So that's to come up. But for now, I've just entered the present guests leaving. Now, this is the entrance door as you come in. So I thought, well, there were 6 of them. It was a family. You're not allowed young children, so they decided that they would put every person that could possibly pretend to be under the age of 18 down as a child, because obviously they just have to pay a tiny amount for them. They also decided to bring along with them a small dog. Now, they didn't tell me about this, but as I entered my stairway, the entrance area, I looked there and saw a bucket. Now I thought, what was a bucket doing in the entrance hall? And so I decided to investigate. This is what I found. Ah, yes, you can see that little dog that they smuggled in. And I say smuggled because they didn't tell me they were bringing a dog. They didn't pay for a dog. I felt better of it. I just said, by the way, did you have a dog? Because I'd seen them on the security camera. And they said, oh, yes, we've got a dog. We thought it was pet friendly. But they obviously were going to sneak in this little dog without telling me, which they managed to get away with not paying for a dog and certainly having 3 or 4 people that definitely looked over the age of 16 who were down as children that only paid a child's price. So first of all, look out for that sort of thing, because it does happen. And I have a certain word for these people, and it is... So now you're joining me in the kitchen, where there's always a lot of little clues as to whether your guests looked after the place or not, whether they bothered to eat and cook themselves or lived on takeaways, which of course is entirely up to them. But one of the biggest clues is something that the good detective would always do. Now, you don't have to do this, but you do have to empty the bins. And sometimes what is in the bins gives you an awful lot of information. Recycle bins here. Oh, now let's see. Recycle bins. Ah, yes. Well, a lot of beer cans and Coke cans and, oh, yes, chocolate. You can tell whether you have had snacky guests. Now, the minute you find out in the bin you've got chocolates and crisps and snacks, you know you're going to have to get Henry the Hoover on the job, because the lounge cushions on that big sofa are going to be covered with snacks. So get ready, because there will be more. So you didn't get to see much of the kitchen, did you? And I bet you wanted to look. Here we go. A lovely kitchen. And normally absolutely fine. The one problem in here is the clock. The clock needs to go back an hour. I'm not going to do that because I've got a broken leg. Well, I'm recovering from broken leg, and I'd have to stand on a very tall ladder. So this goes on a list of things I cannot do. That's why I'm walking like a swaying person. This is the lovely lounge, and I do think it's lovely. I've made quite an effort to make this nice. But what we find here when we've had Airbnb guests who like snacks is that under all of these cushions, and they've had dogs here as well, we will find lots of, half a chocolate bar, lots of snacks. The joys of running an Airbnb. We'll get into that later. But first, it's time to do some maintenance. You say, maintenance. Yes, I can hold a hammer. I can hold a drill. I am very bad, though, at hammering little nails into walls, particularly if they are different types of walls, chipboard or concrete or brick. You'll see what's going to happen soon. Thanks for watching, and if you want more, just subscribe on X. I look forward to hearing from you.